have a rain collar bow. My level 90 Berserker is still using the rain collar bow because every once in a while it stuns something and it stays there, and that's lovely, even at level 90. Is there any way that we could upgrade some of these really cool items that we really worked our butts up to get at level, and now I'm level 90 and it's like, it's all grayed out. It's like, oh, why do you have that wimpy bow? So I would like to upgrade my rain collar bow somehow to level 90. The other thing is, another want list thing, when can we get a broker that only sells to our guild members so that we can put all of our stuff in there and get just the guild members to pay us back what we just put into it?
Actually, the question on some of the items like rain collar bow came up yesterday. We actually don't have any plans to upgrade any of those items. I'm not saying it will never happen, but there's no plans right now. But we can take it back and talk about it, though.
The Ranger Epic is a direct upgrade.
Okay.
On the Guildhall broker question, that's something we talked about doing when we were first discussing amenities. I think we even had it in one of the screenshots, so I know you guys have been interested in that. When looking at implementing it, one of the issues with our broker system is that we felt like all the additional load from guild-only items would have a performance impact on everybody else's broker usage. So what we'd really like to do is find a way to separate that data out so that it's not a performance drain on the system. So it's just a little bit bigger of a task than what we initially planned on. It's still something we think would be cool and we'd like to do it. We just have to carve out some time to make it happen. It's on our list of to-do things.
Hi, I'm Ellie of Nectalos, and I didn't think about asking this when we were talking about housing and trade skilling. We get a lot of very nice banners and cloaks that we can turn into banners, and I can understand where some of these things it would not be appropriate, but all of them have this thing at the top with, you know, designs and flames and things that it would be nice if we could toggle this on or off so that it's there when we're hanging it on a wall, but if we want to apply another use to it, such as a drapery or anything that we could use it for, it would be nice to remove that particular part of the graphic.
I don't know if it would be practical to allow you to toggle it on and off, but certainly curtain-like items that don't have the fancy banner, we do know that people want them, and I agree like that the red tapestry one is a really popular one. I think we'll be seeing more of that type of item, and it's definitely something that I'll be talking to the art team about to see what we can do.
Hello. The first thing I want to ask is for someone that does all of the coin looting when we sell out of raid, is there any way to get a coin distribution to current raid members for the end of a raid so I don't have to mailbox them all to everyone?
Like a /split command or something?
Something like anything like that would be awesome.
Yeah, that's something we can look at doing.
Brad. Also, I play on Mistmore, which is just a super heavily populated server.
And I know where this is going.
Yes, I was wondering if there was some way to take my population and maybe combine it with another server's population?
Yeah, we're looking into the concept of merging, which is a new one we've just heard about now. We're looking into the concept of merging. There's a lot of things we want to look into, like which ones should go in, whether we can get new hardware to do, before we do the merges or whatever it is. So there's a lot of variables that we need to nail down before we roll out a plan. But we will roll out a plan when we get things figured out, and that should be, well, I don't want to nail us down, but we want to get it done as soon as we can. We'll see what happens.
Talking about the broker that you were just talking about a second ago, I was actually thinking the other day about an idea of all of the loot that comes off of mobs that really has no use but to sell to a merchant for a coin, to make those items no broker. So people don't put them on the broker and take up all your space on the broker. So when you look for some specific item, you get 6,000 pages of junk.
Talking about non-treasured.
I'm not sure which items you're talking about. If they're no trade, they wouldn't be appearing on the broker. So you're talking about items that are...
He's talking about like...
Oh, like canine saliva and smelly feet and things like that?
Pages of people selling that on the broker.
It's not treasured. It's not treasured.
Yeah, that's a good question. We're wondering why people are putting those on the broker. But if it's happening, then yeah, I'd like to get them out of there.
I'd like to know why anybody's buying them.
They're not.
They're probably not. I will write that down.
First of all, I'd like you to disregard everything about too much brawler loot. I like having extras. Kidding. But the guy from Mistmore is not going to like me. I think that if you are not on the raid, you didn't earn it, and just because you can afford to buy your plat from a plat farmer does not mean you should get in-game items, so make it like the seals. If you weren't on the fight, you don't get it. You said sell on the open market? Okay.
My question is regarding Profit UI. Why can't we have more of the click-to-cure functionality on the regular default UI?
Sorry, was this a question about click-to-cure? Yeah, that's something...
90% of the people that I know that raid use Profit UI simply for the click-to-cure and the other button functionalities that come with it. Why can we not have some of that incorporated into the default UI?
There's no real reason. Third-party UI authors are really creative, and they're probably always going to find new and cool things, to do. And that's one of the nice things about having mods. So we're probably not going to look to incorporate everything they come out with, but we do understand that click-to-cure is maybe, an exception. It's something that people really like to use. So we're definitely going to look at including that as something in the default UI.
Okay, I've just noticed this recently since kind of TSO, but it looks like on the broker, every time I get on, I go to buy something, especially like harvestables, there's always some idiot that has it on there for 0 copper. And whenever somebody tries to use it, it either is crashing something or it causes a problem, but it'll have, like, the first page will all be 0 copper, and you can't purchase any of it. I mean, it won't default to 1. It defaults to 0.
I thought the minimum broker was 1 copper to put something on. Does anybody know? You can list something for...
When you go to search, it actually comes up 0, but you can't purchase any of the ones that have 0. It tells you that you can't do it.
I see. Yeah, that sounds like a bug for sure then. I will have our QA department see if they can get a repro for that.
Okay. Well, part of the problem is it makes it so that, like, if I click on it or I click on something and I go to buy, I'm just not, like, normally when it comes up, it's the first one. I just take whatever the cheapest one is. I don't look at what the cost is. And so I'll go to buy it, and then I can't use the broker. I have to log out and log back in.
Yeah, that makes sense. With that kind of bug, it's probably just leaving you in some kind of weird state where it can't complete that transaction, so it won't let you do another transaction until that one completes, which will never happen. So we'll take a look at that bug and see if we can get it fixed.
Okay, we're starting to run out of time, so I think we need to go down to the last 10 questions.
Okay, the first one I'm sure is just
number 10.
But there's no bones, fertilizer, or water flasks in Tier 9. Nothing of that kind of stuff's dropping at all off of any of the SF mobs. And I'm just curious if this was an oversight or just an intentional thing that it was not continued into Tier 9.